There are only 3 words you need to survive. Hi, I'm Jeff Goldfinger. Welcome to episode 6 of the STEM Signal, where we help the STEM educated increase their career signal above the workplace noise. Now, let's get down to business. This is the 3rd episode in the 3-part series. The previous 2 parts started us down a conversation about speech act theory, first nominated by J.L. Austin, the British philosopher, then picked up by John Searle, the American philosopher, and finally Fernando Flores, the Chilean engineer, entrepreneur, senator, and of course philosopher. What he proposed is that there are 6 words in what he calls his periodic table of fundamental speech acts that without which we cannot have conversations for action in the workplace. So in the previous 2 episodes, with links in the description, we discussed assertions, assessments, and declarations. Today we're going to finish up our periodic table by talking about offers, promises, and requests. So what is an offer? According to the dictionary, an offer is to present in order to satisfy a requirement. So let's look at some real examples to figure out what are their offers and what requirements are they satisfying. So we have 2 restaurants here, a typical fast food restaurant, and on the right we have a high-end steakhouse. Shout out to Rail Steakhouse in Morris, New Jersey, near where I grew up. So their offers, the offer of the fast food restaurant is low cost and rapid service. The offer on the right-hand side is a fine dining experience. Now, I make no judgment about which is better or worse. They both satisfy the requirements of their customers, their owners, and their employees. But they are fundamentally different offers. So what you can start thinking about is, what is your offer in the marketplace to your employer? Are you a low-cost McDonald's offer? Are you a high-end offer of a steakhouse, or something in between, an Olive Garden, if you will? All right, so that's an offer. Now let's talk about requests. Again, the dictionary, an instance of asking for something. With offers almost always comes requests. So when we look at the 2 restaurants, what are their requests? So 2 types of requests, explicit, implicit. The explicit request of the high-end steakhouse might be a sign that reads, proper attire required, whereas the fast food restaurant, it might read something like no shoes, no shirt, no service. So those are explicit requests. An implicit request, one that is not explicitly stated, for the steakhouse might be something like, hey Jeff, don't bring your 3 grandkids who are ages 6, 4, and 2. Not a good idea. Whereas the fast food restaurant, their implicit request is, hey, get in, get out so we can keep servicing our customers. Between the 2 parties, whether it be buyer, seller, boss, or subordinate, it doesn't matter which comes first, the offer or the request. They tend to occur in either order. So what are some typical workplace offers and requests? Hey, we have a job offer for a coder. I'm requesting an increase in my salary. We're requesting funds to develop a new product, or our company offers a maintenance agreement for our product. So these are some typical offers and requests that you might come across. Now, the truth is, we've been making offers and requests for a very long time, long before our 3 philosophers from earlier examined this concept. In Adam Smith, the famous Scottish economist, in 1776, he published his work, The Wealth of Nations, and in there he talks about the offers and requests that were being made hundreds of years ago as a metalsmith came into being, was making excess nails, and a lumberjack harvesting excess wood. And so between the lumberjack and the metalsmith, they were making offers and requests to exchange their goods in a form of bartering. And he talks about how money came along as a result of bartering. So going back even further, a few millennia, we have the emergence of pharaohs. That's a leadership offer, as Yuval Harari talks about in his 2015 book, Sapiens. Right? The pharaohs and kings were saying, okay, my offer to you is I'm going to protect you as a nation. My request of you is to farm the land and let me grow my wealth and build my pyramids. Okay? So again, requests and offers go back many hundreds, thousands of years. Again, this is The Invention of Yesterday, a great book by Tamim Ansari in 2019. He talked about how these offers and requests produced globalization. As international trade picked up, as much as 3,500 years ago, in 1500, before the Common Era, 1500 BCE, you had international trade routes between the 5 basic fertile areas around the world: China, India, the Levant, and the Nile River Valley. And there's one more, and I can't remember what it is right now. That's in modern civilized times, but our requests for help and offers that we made go back even further. In terms of our hominid ancestors, the speculation is that midwifery, a request for help in birthing, actually goes back millions of years to our hominid ancestors. But even further back, as identified by Maturana and Varela in their book, The Tree of Knowledge, if we ever had occasion to approach a herd of deer, we noticed that as soon as we got within 100 yards, the whole herd fled. The herd moves in a formation led by the dominant male, followed by the females and the young. Other males bring up the rear, and one of them stays behind on the closest peak to keep an eye on the stranger while the others descend. As soon as they have reached the new height, he joins them. So this is an offer of leadership and an offer of followership, right? I'll follow the herd to protect the herd. So this in many ways is an instinctual survival mechanism of offers and requests. Okay, so that's the thing to understand, is this is deeply embedded in our ability to survive and take care of our concerns. So that takes care of offers and requests. Now let's talk about promises. A promise is a pledge to do, bring about, or provide. But unlike offers and requests, which have their biological roots, only humans make promises to each other. So, what are the characteristics of a promise? A promise is to deliver something, a what, by a specific deadline, a when. Now, the most common one we probably all know is I promise to love, honor, and cherish till death do us part. That's a very big what with a defined when. But I also promise to defend our nation from all enemies, foreign and domestic. That's something I had to do when I was a military officer. I promise to deliver the report by Tuesday. That's something many of you say to your program manager. I promise you a job after you graduate. I promise to do my job as long as you pay my salary. I promise to pay you within 30 days after you deliver the product. So these are all examples of common promises we see in the workplace. All right, so what? Why do we care about these 3 particular speech acts? What's the purpose of offers, requests, and promises? Well, for that, let's turn to an Irishman.
To tell you the truth, I'm a little concerned.
Whenever anybody says they're a little concerned, they're very concerned.
Offers, requests, and promises take care of survival concerns. And I'm using the term survival in its broadest sense. Sometimes survival is just looking good. I want the new car. That's the offer or request I'm making. So however survival turns up for you. So in the case of a restaurant, it takes care of the concern for nourishment and socialization. In the case of my mortgage lender, it was my concern for my shelter in Fallon, Nevada, where I was stationed in the Navy. My Guardian Life Insurance makes me an offer that takes care of the concern for my family. So the thing to realize is, no matter what offers, requests, or promises you're making in the workplace, nobody wants your offer, request, or promise if it won't take care of a concern they have. That's what makes these 3 words foundational to taking care of each other's survival as humans. All right, so that completes our periodic table of speech acts. In a future episode, we're going to do a deep dive on concerns. Most of you, especially engineers, many of you work in a world where you talk about requirements and specifications, technical specs. We're going to go below that and get underneath the concerns that live behind those kinds of requests. In the next episode, though, we're going to tie together all 6 speech acts and show how a conversation for action occurs in the workplace. So this is a new channel. This is only our 6th episode. For sure, I would love you to like and subscribe to this channel. But to increase your STEM signal, make an offer of help to a friend. If you like this channel and you like our content, please make an offer by sending them the link or talking about it at your workplace. In other words, as the great sage Jerry Maguire would say,
Help me help you.
thank you for listening. Again, Jeff Goldfinger here with the STEM Signal. And until next time, keep your STEM signal above the noise.
Let's get down.